Hi everybody, Nate here from WASD 20, and I am here at GaryCon 10 with Satine Phoenix. What? Thank you again, Satine, for being willing to talk to me for a few minutes.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool. Well, I have a few questions for you. I wrote them down so I can stick to script and be respectful of your time here.
Okay.
So, you are a host on GM Tips. You are a DM for Maze Arcana. And you have all kinds of other things going. What sorts of other things do you have going? Where might people find you and all your creative pursuits?
Well, let's see. Mostly you can see me on Maze Arcana, twitch.tv/Maze Arcana. I also run I'm the Dungeon Master for twitch.tv/D&D's Sirens of the Realms, an all-girl bard band on tour through Faerun. But I'm also a comic book artist and a nonfiction writer of a book called The Action Heroine's Journey. It's a book on storytelling, and I do a lot of storytelling and writing. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're here at GaryCon 10. How many times have you been to GaryCon before?
4 or 5.
Okay, and
It's my favorite convention of all the conventions.
okay,
Nobody paid me to say that, I swear, but it really is.
so why GaryCon?
Let me tell you why. Because it's where like all the creators come to convention. Like this is our mecca. We all come here, we run our games, we run them for each other. I mean, most of the people here are dungeon masters, right? We come here because we want to play in games that other dungeon masters are running. And you know, if you're going to go to one convention, I say this one because it's small, it's intimate. We all go and we play, and then we all go drinking afterwards in the really swanky bar.
Yep. Yeah, very cool. So you end up streaming a lot and, you know, playing a lot, and you're a public figure for D&D. How do you balance that with like your private life? And do you have to make?
I don't understand that word.
Really? Yeah.
Private life? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, do you ever play D&D off camera?
I did once, twice in the last year. Not very often, honestly. I mean, mostly at conventions. But even like the only time I Dungeon Master not for a live stream is for our Patreon folks. Yeah, and that's fun because it's like relax. I can curl up and we kind of just hang out. But yeah, man. I mean, we're not only live streaming, but we're writing for D&D. Rudy and I are guild adepts. I say we because we are the Maze Arcana. We are the Maze Arcana robots who make all the content for all the peoples. But also because we like it. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm wondering, happy International Women's Day yesterday. Yeah. So our tabletop role-playing games have been such a male-dominated hobby. How do you feel about the place of females in this hobby today? It's obviously come a long way, but I'm wondering if you can comment on that and what people can do to make it a more open to all types of people hobby.
So I didn't know it was a male-dominated hobby. I've been playing it my entire life for over 22 years. Yeah, for over 22 years I've been playing, and it was just a thing that I did. And I would play with my friends and their girlfriends, and it wasn't a thing. When I found out it was a thing, it was probably 2008 when Zach Smith and the rest of us decided to do I Hit It With My Axe. And it was like, girls play D&D? I'm like, duh. Wait, what? It's a thing? And they're like, yeah, you're just playing to like make money off. I was like, no. I'm like branded. Like, not saying that I'm branded, but like it's in my blood. I love this stuff. And there's so many women out there who just never felt the need to say, I play D&D. They just play D&D. Like some people go and play poker. They don't say, I play poker. It's just, yeah, it's a hobby. Duh, this is what I do. Now it's really beautiful because we say we're coming out of the basement, which is really stupid and cliche, but like it is. People are coming out saying, I play D&D, I'm not ashamed of it, and it's literally something that nobody should be ashamed of. People play video games and it's not weird, right? So now I know the numbers are different. It's like women, there are very few women playing in the past, but honestly, women have always been playing. Now we feel the need and the joy of saying, yeah, me too, I play D&D, yeah, duh. So, you know, it's like, I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but there are more women coming forward who have been playing their whole lives, women my age, who are like, I'm almost 40, and I've been playing my whole life. And now there's other women saying, oh, they play D&D. I want to play D&D too. And I love the idea that there's people who've been in it for a million years like me, and there's people who are just now finding it because of Critical Role or Maze Arcana, and it's like, it's the most beautiful thing. Because honestly, like, I never had the issues a lot of the girls have now or have had in the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I'm very aggressive. I'm very aggressive about, I want to play this. This is what we're playing, and nobody's going to fight me on it. So I'm really glad that we live in a world now where you don't have to be so aggressive. You can say, hey, I want to play D&D. Meetup.com. Oh, look at all these groups playing D&D. It's more now, like, it's less about finding a group than finding the right group. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now there are so many groups playing. It's like, oh, well, I like this kind of role playing. I like number crunching. And there are women that play those, or women that play story heavy. Like, it's the range and the variety is amazing. You can play on your computer. You can play in person. There's a smorgasbord of ways to play, and we have access to it all right now. I love 2018.
Yeah, that, beautifully said. Beautifully said. So I was going to ask you about Maze Arcana takes place in Eberron. Is that correct?
A lot of our shows, our main shows, take place in Eberron.
Okay. So what is the draw there? What do you like about Eberron as compared to other D&D settings?
Okay, so here's the thing. So Zach introduced me to Keith Baker, and he was like, I got a friend who wrote Eberron. I was like, ooh, interesting. It's like 2008-09. And he was like, yeah, it's gonna be really fun. It's a little bit different than what we normally play. I'm like, okay. And he hands us character sheets, and they're all monsters, right? Because, like, there's this nation called Droam, and it's all the monster nation, right? And I was like, that's amazing. I'm Filipino, American, Sicilian, and I don't feel like I look like anything specific. And I always felt like something else. Kalishtar actually very much described as me, and I didn't, like, he wasn't written after me or anything, but I was like, oh, identify. I finally identify. I mean, I've kind of identified with elves a bit because, like, oh, those are there's humans and dwarves and then the other creatures, which are elves. But I'm like, wow, Kalishtar, changelings. I could go play an orc. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. I could play a Medusa. Cool. So having the creator of Eberron, like, teach me Eberron, that was kind of a big draw. And then just being able to talk to him about it over the last years. I mean, it was like instant BFFs. I was like, tell me more, tell me all the things. So he and I actually created Celebrity Charity 20. Well, I created it, and I kind of just drug him along, and he was like, yeah. It's a terrible way to put it. It was a very fun, consensual thing that we did. But, you know, he was the game master on it, and he created all the adventures for every year that we did it. It's a children's... It is a charity that raises money for Reach Out and Read, which is a children's literacy program that teaches pediatricians how to get parents to teach their kids how to read, or the importance of reading. Yeah. So that is what we did, and we've been playing Eberron ever since. So it's the combination of this post-war world that has this crazy mythology of, like, the progenitor dragons and their interaction, and it's so passionate, and I love that, the Warforged. I love the shifters, and it's like next level fantasy. I call it Arcana Punk, or Rudy and I call it Arcana Punk, because it's like, you know, instead of like steampunk colors of like brown and gold, I just imagine these like cities of like purples and golds and like really ornate things, almost Indian, and it makes my very different person brain fit in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I've never played an Eberron, so now you have convinced me. Thank you. Well, I think I better end this here. I know you've got a lot to do, but I want to thank you so much for joining me, and thank you all for tuning in for this.
Thank you for letting me be here. You guys can find me at all of the social medias at Satine Phoenix, twitch.tv/MazeArcana, twitch.tv/DND, MazeArcana.com. And I'm sure there are other places.
And I'll put all of the links to those things in the video description, so check them out. All right, bye everybody.